Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and special thanks to our friends from West Linn Robotics team. As Mary Pat Silvera mentioned a few minutes ago before some of you joined, this group came to the Lake Oswego branch several years ago when we could actually see them in person. And something's funny going on here. And so we were so enthusiastic about it. As Mary Pat said, this was our most enthusiastic response to any program our branch has had in the last 7 or 8 years. So we wanted to invite them tonight. So the team is Team TBD, and we know that is to be determined, changing the STEM. So I'm going to ask the ladies to introduce themselves, and they will go on with their program. Thanks so much for joining us.
All right, so hi everyone. Thank you for the fabulous introduction. We are Team To Be Determined from West Linn High School. My name is Leah. I'm the team's marketing lead. And as we said earlier, I, along with my fellow presenters here, am a senior in high school. So Maddie.
I'm Maddie. I am the team's robot integration lead. And I'll be on my team. Yeah, sorry guys. I've been on the team for 4 years.
Chloe.
Oh, sorry. I'm Chloe. I'm on the marketing, outreach, and business, or the MOB team, and I've been on the team for 2 years now.
Hi everyone. My name is Anna, and I am on the hardware team, and I am the team safety lead.
All right, we also have our head mentor here tonight.
Hi there, my name is Tim Manus. Sorry, I'm outside in a very noisy place, but I am the CT engineering teacher at West Linn High School in West Linn, Oregon, and I am the head mentor for To Be Determined Robotics team. 4 amazing women are gonna share with you all the crazy things that we do. So if you have any questions, please field them with questions at the end. And that's about it.
Thanks, Mr. Manus. All right, so welcome. Today we're going to talk to you about our team, the hardworking women on it, and all of our community outreach projects. Chloe, there you go. Okay, first things first, we are an FRC team, which stands for First Robotics Competition. One of the main things our team does is build robots to compete in robotics competitions created by FIRST, which stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. It is a global robotics community preparing young people for the future and the world's leading youth-serving nonprofit advancing STEM education. We have a video here to tell you a little bit more about it.
Robotics competition for students.
In school, you read about stuff, but in FIRST as a whole, you actually go and do it.
In the beginning of January, the challenge comes out every year. Under strict rules and limited time and resources, you have to design, build, program, and test a robot.
There's no blueprint. We get a few rules and guidelines to follow, and then it's up to those students to find something that works.
There's nothing better than just seeing your robot on the field playing for the first time. They're all there like, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? And then when it works, it's the best feeling ever.
You have mentors that are actually in the field that can tell you, oh, this is why this works, and this is the science behind it. And you're like, oh, wow, that makes so much sense.
They do a great job, not just about STEM, but about life, how to go through college, how to go through, a tough, physics class.
At face value, First Robotics Competition is a robot competition, but at the end of the day, it's so much more than that.
People ask me like, oh, you build robots? I says, no, we're really running a business and all the things that go along with that.
We deal with a lot of marketing, social media.
I've learned business side of things,
problem solving, working in groups.
I'm learning how to communicate with people, how to reach out to local businesses.
So we kind of have robotics as the starting point, but we branch out to different areas and expand.
So the ultimate goal every year is always to get to the first championship.
The first championship is basically like the Olympic for robots.
There's hundreds of teams from all over the world there, and you get to see some of the best teams that exist.
It's very competitive, but you're friends with the people that you're going against. It's like a sport, but in its own way, it's better than a sport.
Being part of FIRST, it's really changed my life and, how I think about myself, how I think about others.
Participating in FIRST actually taught me that I'm capable of doing anything that I set my mind to.
FIRST has really inspired me to give back in my old elementary school. I'm trying to help their robotics program that just started this year. I want those kids to have the opportunity to learn about STEM.
As a participant in the FIRST program in high school, you get access to $80 million worth of scholarships.
There are scholarships for colleges, universities, as well as technical programs.
It also looks really good on the actual application to be on FIRST.
FIRST does a really great job trying to open programs to make sure that you can actually accomplish anything in STEM, no matter where you're from, your background, your language, or anything like that.
I really do consider myself part of the STEM community, and I couldn't be more prouder to say that.
FIRST Robotics Competition is one of 4 engaging FIRST programs that shows students unique challenges and helps them learn new engineering skills and real-world skills that'll help them in the future.
FIRST is the future.
FIRST is accomplishment.
FIRST is passion.
FIRST is inspiring.
FIRST is changing my story.
All right, so as it said in the video, our team is a lot more than just robot building, but our main goal is to design, manufacture, and program a robot to compete at a competition. We have our mission statement here. So we are determined to inspire students in science, engineering, and technology while developing individual skills and character. We strive to make a positive impact on each other and our community by being role models, engaging every student, and challenging ourselves and others through collaborative learning and problem solving. We really work on involving the whole team. We constantly have many projects going on at the same time, especially this year because we didn't have a competition season. And we'll be talking about many of those projects today. To organize those projects, our team is split up into several sub-teams, each one with a student leader who is in charge of their designated projects and students, as well as coordinating with their fellow leads. So this is our sub-team breakdown. I'm not going to go over all of it because it's a lot, but our team has 7 main sub-teams. The electrical, design, and mechanical sub-teams form a larger hardware team. There's the software team, and there's also the marketing, outreach, and business teams, which form the overall MOB team. We have 11 leads total, 6 of which are female. And that is regardless of the fact that our team is 60% male. Overall, we have 45 students, and as soon as the school year starts, we are hoping to recruit some more through our open house and schools club fair. We also have 6 adult mentors, including Mr. Manus, who help us with the projects we're working on and advise us whenever we need it. All right, let's get into showing you guys some of the projects we've done or are currently working on.
As we try to give back to our community and be agents for positive change, we strive to be community partners. This means participating in outreach events and supporting local organizations. Our team volunteers regularly at local Solve events to offer service to the community as well as with Mentor Graphics. We have been involved with the OMSI events for Junior First Lego League, which is for kindergarten through 2nd grade. We have presented about robotics to students in Indonesia and have been a part of 4 top events, including at the State Fair. As both a robotics team and a business, we form sponsorships and strengthen ties with local businesses. And finally, we set up booths at local fairs or partner with other robotics teams to spread the message of FIRST.
Solve events are one of the things that we do on a monthly basis. Solve, formerly known as Solve without an E, stands for Stop Organ Litter and vandalism. Now with the E is supposed to add action to the statement since solve is an action verb. Something that Solve does as a group, they are removing invasive species, disaster cleanup, and native planting. Some of their more popular events are happen on the Oregon coast. We personally volunteer at a park, Mary S. Young, near where we are. We have started doing this every first Saturday since June of 2020. As you may notice, that's during the early stages of the pandemic. So it was important for our team to show leadership in wearing masks and setting an example for other volunteers coming. It also gave a lot of members a chance to see people in person for a while, like in a safe way.
On a side note, Maddie actually was given the Oregon Solve Youth Volunteer of the Year award this year. So that was very exciting because she was the one who got our team into this event.
Thank you, Chloe.
No problem. Mentoring younger robotics teams. As a high school robotics team, we want to be able to set a good example for the rest of our younger community, and we want to be able to help others. Because of this, we try to help other robotics teams, and we've tried our best to continue that over Zoom as well. This means we've been helping mentor the Athey Creek Middle School robotics team, both in person. We went probably around our freshman year, I think. Would have been one of the last times we were able to be there in person. And then we tried to continue to help them over Zoom. I know that we wanted to get them into our lab, and that wasn't able to happen last year, obviously due to COVID, but I hope that we are able to get them into our robotics lab very soon. We've also recently helped Willamette Primary School establish their own robotics team and continue to try to support them as much as we could virtually this year as they started their robotics team. I think it was this year and the very, very end of last year. We also helped run the FLL competition at OMSI. FLL, or the First Lego League competition, is a Lego robotics competition that is organized by FIRST for middle and elementary schoolers. In this competition, teams are given real-world challenges that they have to focus on and research to help them come up with creative solutions to complete these challenges. This competition usually takes place in August, and in 2019, we were able to help run it.
Something else we do for our community is participating in fairs. Fairs give us a chance to have a robot on display that helps promote STEM in like an engaging way. If you see a robot with a bunch of LEDs, chances are you're going to be like, what is that? And want to know more. So then when people come over, you know, I hand them like a robot controller. We have littler robots people can drive around, and kind of giving people a chance to see like right away, like, oh, this is really cool. And then they can learn more about our program as they stay there longer. And this also gives us a chance to partner with other teams as well. So maybe doing like a more like competition so you can see interactions between robots as well, and see the community, how it's all very good sportsmanship, a little different from other sports. And then something that just shows like how we have been able to be present in the communities that we've been asked to be grand marshals at the Old Time Fair in West Linn, where we are. However, due to COVID, we have not been able to do that, but are hoping maybe 2022. We'll see.
Although we are a young team, one of our primary outreach goals is to be educators. We host 3 annual camps focused on inspiring children and youth to investigate STEM pathways, and the pandemic has taught us how to be educators in new and exciting ways. So some of the programs and events we are involved in as part of our commitment to be educators are STEM camps, and STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We have a Drive a Robot Day at the high school library. We participate in Lamb Research's Take Your Kid to Work Day. We have done virtual camps over COVID and day camps for kids. And over quarantine, we began STEM YouTube challenges, which we'll talk about soon. And our team has participated in local science fairs and presented at elementary schools.
So every summer we have a 1 to 2 week long camp that we call Summer of STEAM. This camp is for incoming 8th and 9th graders to help introduce them to our team and high school robotics through hands-on games and STEM activities. We've had speakers come in and talk with students about STEM and give them hands-on activities for them to do. We've done more arts and crafts activities such as building their own boomerangs or building their own catapults. And of course, lots of games. This camp is completely organized, run, and staffed by our own robotics team members. Through this camp, not only is our team able to connect with our community and create new friendships, but we're able to introduce students to STEM. We just finished our 4th year of offering this camp about a month ago, and we are incredibly excited to say that we were able to have it masked and in person. Last year, when COVID hit, we tried to keep up our outreach and hosted an online Zoom Summer of STEAM camp. And while we had fun hosting and helping students, and the students were able to have a fun and safe camp experience, we were super happy to be able to be back in person for Summer of STEAM 2021. Through this camp, we've been able to reach over 200 kids in our community, and we hope we will be able to reach out to more and share our love for STEM with them as well. This year was my first year planning and directing a camp, and it was amazing to be able to see how our team shapes the community. Because I joined at the beginning of this year, I had been involved with many camps before, but they had all only been on a screen. While we were still able to connect with campers and form bonds then, it was a completely different experience when the screens were no longer there and we were in person. I might not have been with one group of students the whole time, but watching our counselors and our teachers chat and joke and work with the students was so much fun and so rewarding to watch.
Okay, so these are some of the smaller events that we participate in to share STEM with the community. First is the Library Drive a Robot Day. So I think we have FRC and FTC robots in the high school library, and students can just come by during lunch and get to drive robots and get interested in how they work. The LAM Research Facility, they invited students, robotics students, to do fun STEM activities with them for a day, which was super awesome. And we also do local science fairs and school events where we help to spread STEM to younger students and encourage the next generation to be interested in FIRST and the programs that it offers. And as Chloe mentioned, STEM during COVID was interesting, but we found ways to power through it and to make the best of it. So the first thing we did was the STEM YouTube challenge, where we posted weekly challenges during quarantine onto YouTube and just had robotics students and children from middle school and elementary school come up with their own solutions and creations to answer these challenges. So some examples, a bunch of people posted videos of their Rube Goldbergs, and there was a really epic water xylophone video of the main theme of Tetris, which was really great. And I helped my little brother build a solar oven for one of the challenges. So there were a ton of videos, and it was really well received by the community, and we're really grateful we were able to do that. Also, we had virtual camps. So we have 3 main camps: Summer of STEAM, Full Steam Ahead in the fall, and Changing the System, which we'll talk about later, and it's our camp for girls. And all 3 of those we did virtually, and we kind of had to change the way that we teach things and deliver kits to people, but those were great experiences, and I think that we're able to bring that knowledge and that inspiration to lots of kids through that. And finally, for our own team, we have online presentations and training for the hardware team to help teach our team members CAD and safety presentations, to kind of bring our team together and help them get those skills so that they can return to the lab in person and already know the things they need to know. Sorry, that's me again. Okay, another characteristic of our team is our desire to build and create. This is why being innovators is part of our team's mission. Many members of our team are on the hardware, electrical, or software sub-teams. These students, when not focusing on our competition robot, work on projects like these. So the Outreach robot is a robot we plan to take to events and fairs, and Maddie's about to talk about that. We have groups working on plastic recycling and solar panel projects. The electrical and software teams are developing a swerve drive, and that's a picture of it on the right. Some of our smaller projects, we're repairing dispensers at the school, and we have a laser cutter, and we can laser engrave things like signs and water bottles, and it's pretty awesome. Over COVID, we manufactured and 3D printed face shields and created the virtual robot design contest Pandemic Pin Down.
So the Outreach robot is something that we worked on before we got into our lab and after. It's going to be a basic drive base, as you can kind of see in the bottom left, with a bunch of different superstructures, we call them. So like the part that goes on top and does everything. So we might have a basketball shooter that shoots at halftime, or a t-shirt shooter that you get t-shirts cannon everywhere at games, any sports, I guess, as well as a chair so you can drive around with being on the robot, which will be exciting, and also a trailer on the back. But the important thing is this is also training new students as well as spreading the messages. So it's kind of doing double when it comes to that. Okay. As Anna touched on, we manufactured PPE, face shields, eye shields, and ear savers. People from the team members got to take home 3D printers and print sometimes 24/7 to get as many face shields out as we can to our community. We printed for our school as well as community members at the library or teachers in general. We partnered with other teams while doing this, and also used laser cutter for other parts of this. And then Pandemic Pin Down, as you kind of saw a little bit in the first video, the main part of this is a competition. And with the pandemic, we were not able to have an actual competition, which is a huge part of what we do. So having a low pressure way for team members to learn strategy and CAD skills, which is computer aided design, getting all of the early stages of what a game looks like, having that done before makes it a lot easier for us in the normal season. So having this, we also got to bond with other teams that did this as well. So it was a really rewarding experience with our leadership team coming up with this game as well. It actually became the challenge for our actual robotics team ended up being this. We didn't participate, but it was really cool.
Finally, our team has always worked hard to be inclusive. We value each other's unique perspectives and backgrounds. Another first event we participate in is Girls Gen, which Maddie will talk about in a moment. We have members attend Girl Scout camp. We have a unified robotics team, which we'll talk about as well. And as already mentioned, 40% of our team is female, and because it can be harder for girls to find opportunities in STEM, we have the camp changing the system, which we are very excited to have done and to do in the future.
Okay, Girls Gen was one of my personal favorite. It's an off-season event, and actually how I kind of got sucked into robotics, I guess you'd say. This is like the normal competition, just after it's done again, but this time only females touch the robot. They drive the robot, they get to do everything. So you get much more hands-on. You kind of get to see a different side of teams as well. They might play different or just in general have a different strategy. It's like it's the same game, but you have a completely new perspective on it. And just like gives girls the confidence they need going into a next season.
Unified Robotics. This is one of my favorite projects. Our robotics team partners with a special education program at our school called Unify. They're a group of students, most of which are special ed students who promote inclusion and friendship. Our school has one of the top unified programs in the country, and our team has partnered with them to form our unified robotics team. We teach them how to code, build Lego robots, and go build their robots. But mainly we work with them to create opportunities for special education students in STEM. We hope to eventually go to the Special Olympics competition for unified robotics, as well as have them join us for our normal competition season through FIRST.
So this year we started a new camp that was just for girls. One of our goals as a team is to be inclusive for everyone and to support our community members. Because we know how hard it can be for women in the STEM field, we decided that we wanted to have a camp to try and help reach out to girls to help share our love for STEM and robotics with them, and to try to give them a support system that they could use to help them get introduced to robotics and other STEM careers. Seeing as we were trying to change a system and career path that is dominated by men, we thought it would be fitting to name this camp Changing the System. This camp was an after-school camp just for girls that met twice a week for 3 weeks in April and March. Due to COVID, though, we had to keep it over Zoom, but we were still able to give them an engaging camp experience. From the safety of their own homes, the girls and the campers were able to learn how to build robots, CAD, and work with electrical circuits. We also had speakers come in and talk about their jobs and their experience as women in the STEM field. For this camp, I was a counselor, and while it was strange having a camp on screen, I felt like it didn't hinder our team's ability to connect with our campers. My favorite part of the camp was being able to watch the group of girls I was with talk and chat as they made their robots. Another thing that I really loved about being part of their conversations were being able to watch them like be a team, even though they were working on their different robots. So everybody had their own individual box, and so they were all working on their own robots, but it was still cool to watch them throw out different ideas or help another girl on the other side of town like figure out why this specific bit wasn't fitting together the way that the instructions were telling her it was supposed to fit. And watching these girls work together was so much fun, and it was super amazing to be able to watch and engage with them.
So these are just some of the awards our team has earned. There are a few more, but these are the most prestigious ones. So I'm going to talk to you guys about them a little bit. So the first one is our Rookie All-Star Award from 2018, which celebrates the rookie team exemplifying a young but strong partnership effort, as well as implementing the mission of FIRST to inspire students to learn more about science and technology. We won it in our first year of competition at the Pacific Northwest District Competition. And because of that win, our team was sent to the world competition in Houston, where we won the Rookie Inspiration Award, one of the highest honors for a rookie team. The award celebrates a rookie team's outstanding success in advancing respect and appreciation for engineering and engineers, both within their school as well as in their community. We are super proud of both of these awards. They boosted our confidence and showed us that our team could stand out amongst the bigger, more experienced teams. In 2019, our team won the Safety Award at our district competition. It celebrates the team that progresses beyond safety fundamentals by using innovative ways to eliminate or protect against hazards for themselves and others. Now, this is one of our favorite awards. Our team has a safety lead, the current one being Anna. But at this competition, the presentation that won this award wasn't even given by our safety lead at the time. It was given by 2 other teammates and we still won the award. So it holds a very special place in our hearts. These last 2 awards we won this year at the district and regional level. The award is known as the Chairman's Award, and it is given to the team judged to best exemplify the true meaning of FIRST through measurable impact on participants, school, and community at large, with emphasis on promoting science and technology through FIRST programs. It is well known as the most prestigious award that a FIRST robotics team can receive, and winning it at the regional level like we did means that your team automatically gets to compete at Worlds. Unfortunately, due to COVID, there was no Worlds competition this year, but we're hoping it means we get to go back to Worlds in 2022. Regardless, the award is a huge honor and we're so proud that we earned it with our extensive work in our community.
Throughout everything we've done for our team and for our communities, our goals haven't changed. First and foremost, we are a robotics team, and our goal to build a robot for competitions and be able to represent our district or our state is a big driving force of the reason we have our program, and it gives us a reason to exist. But our goal to help our community share our love for learning and STEM and to be an inclusive, supportive team is what gives us our culture and our character. While we want to be able to win competitions and be able to represent ourselves, we also want to be able to inspire students to love learning and to want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Looking forward, we hope to continue to be able to reach out to our community through our volunteering efforts, our camp, and helping the greater FIRST community. And we dearly hope that we will be able to get back to a regular build and regular competition season soon. We hope that we will be able to continue working with your organization as well. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask us. And then this is where you guys can find us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and then we also have an email, a website, and a YouTube channel. Thank you.
Awesome, ladies. Thank you so much. My first question is, when do you have time to do anything else?
That is a good question.
Absolutely.
Doing so much.
Our members are just a little crazy. I know our past business lead, Amanda, who did the presentation for like Oswego, was also the president of Key Club at our school, and she was in a bunch of other clubs while working 2 jobs. A lot of our members are just incredibly busy all the time, but somehow we're able to get through it and do it.
And coffee.
Coffee.
Lots of coffee, yes.
Okay, I'm going to just watch people as they raise their hands. I know people have lots of questions. I'm going to go for Mary Pat Silvera.
Thank you. Wonderful, girls. God, it just makes my heart sing. I just think what you're doing is fantastic. I have 2 questions. One is for any of you. I live in West Linn, and I have a granddaughter who will be at Stafford this coming year. And so my question is, how do you choose the elementary school in West Linn with which you work? I saw you working with Willamette. Yeah. And then the second question, if I may just go ahead and ask, I'll address it to Maddie, although I'm sure any of you could chime in. But Maddie mentioned that working with a team of just girls was very different from working with a team of boys and girls, that the strategy was different and the teamwork was different. And I don't doubt that for a minute, but I'd be curious how you would describe the differences, if you can. So thank you.
Well, I can take that first one, I guess. The main reason is just through past connections, I think. We've been working with Willamette for a while, and we have a lot of students that go to like AP, so we partner with them a lot. That's the main reason.
I know Willamette also had reached out to us and asked if we could help them set up the program. So yeah, but I think that's probably, yeah.
But we do Full Steam Ahead is a camp for 4th through 6th or 7th graders. So that's our camp for some elementary schoolers. If is it your granddaughter? Is that what you said? Sorry.
My granddaughter's younger than that still, and she'll be at Stafford. I just was curious how you would choose the school.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're not doing anything at Stafford and she gets into the 4th grade and she's interested, then
yeah, good point. Thank you.
Yep, sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good.
Okay, Sue Klumpf.
I had another question.
Oh, she did. Sorry, Mary Pat. She had another question about how the teams were different from the boys and girls teams versus just the girls teams.
Yeah, I think obviously like this isn't like the same for all of them, but I think there's like kind of a common understanding as girls that you may not, it's just like very hard to describe. I guess let's see if I try to start over a little bit here. But I guess you may not have the same kind of confidence as you would like in that kind of group. So you be able to share more ideas, which generates like I don't even know. It's like the best environment. You have less of like one person, not like I don't know. I don't want to like put it the wrong way because definitely like we have a bunch of like boys on the team as well that do a bunch of great things as well. It's just a very unique experience. It's hard to put like a word like into words.
That's fine. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just, yeah, I think it's an interesting phenomenon. I would agree that that it is very different working with just women than working with women and men. But anyway.
Yeah, and I will just add, Maddie, and you all, we've all been there, done that. We know what that's like. Okay, next question, Sue Klumpf.
These are amazing. And what I've really enjoyed is watching how much you enjoy what you do and the pride that you take in this work. It's awestruck for me. But my question is, what are your career and college plans? How many of you are actually going forward in STEM-oriented careers?
To go first.
I can, I guess. So I want to be, well, one of my career paths that I have been heavily thinking about is music therapy. So psychology and then music.
Anna, how about you?
Yeah, I really like physics classes and my calculus classes. So, and I have a grandpa who's really into astronomy, and I am also very much into astronomy. You can see my small telescope back there. So I'm interested in aerospace engineering or astrophysics, which is pretty ambitious, but it's the skills that I'm learning now are helping me already.
Maddie?
I'm looking into like different kinds of engineering, but definitely something with the environment, especially after I've had ecology classes and helping at Marius Young. Not necessarily environmental engineering, but there's a lot of engineering that can help in that way.
So I joined the team because my brother was an original member of the team and he was on the team for all 4 years of high school. So I joined last year to help in marketing because I'm a really invested art student. So I'm hoping to go into industrial design and hopefully with a minor in marketing.
Anyone else have questions? You want to raise your hand? Kathleen, unmute.
What brought out your interest in STEM? Can you relate to one particular incident? I mean, or were you just born that way?
Me personally, I've always kind of enjoyed math. Science sometimes, but a lot of math and art. So we use both the terms STEM and STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math. So that's a big part of it for me personally.
I've definitely sorry. Yeah, I've definitely like enjoyed like building things like since I was young. Like I enjoyed, playing with train tracks and blocks more than like maybe with, dolls or whatever. So I think it definitely like is very young, like watching. I think the things that I did when I was younger definitely changed. Like I maybe didn't do the things that were like traditionally like a girl would do maybe when they were younger, and I think that definitely helped in its own way. But then definitely joining the robotics team has just like made it that much more of like a reality, I guess.
Yeah, I would say I didn't really think about it very much before I joined the team, but my brother was on the team, and finally I decided to come, and they just welcomed me right away. And one of the first things I did was soldering, which I really had no idea what that is or was, but I got to solder some things, and I was like, this is pretty cool. And then we came later, and they were like, we're gonna have this competition called Bunny Bots, and we need ideas. And I just got the whiteboard marker, and I was just drawing on the whiteboard, and half the things I was drawing, or more than half, almost everything I was drawing, would not make sense, and you could not build, and it was impossible, but it was really fun, even if it couldn't be built. And I just love the organization, but also like the chaos of planning, and that was kind of what got me interested in building things.
So my mom is a science teacher, and so I've kind of always been like surrounded by that like part of STEM. And I always thought it was interesting, but I was never like truly invested until probably 8th grade or freshman year, when we started learning about biology, and that was really, really cool to me. And then I joined the robotics team, and while it's not obviously like a big part of my career path, it's definitely something that I want to have near me, at least in the future.
Thank you so much. You ladies are so inspirational.
Thank you.
Well, and you're learning so much more, so many things by working together in the community outreach and the marketing and everything else you're doing. I see Pat Lehman has a question.
I do. And young ladies, young women, you are just amazing. My hat's off to you. You are really inspiring, as other people have mentioned. My question is, are your peers and family and all the adults around you, is everybody supportive of your interest in STEM and the path that you're pursuing? Or are there people who are questioning your choices or trying to discourage you?
I'd say I've absolutely had so much support. As I said, my brother was on the team. My dad's a mentor. And I think Linn is actually pretty good about just letting people pursue their own interests. I haven't really seen a lot of that at that school at all. I think it's a very supportive environment.
I think it's definitely people support you. Some people don't know how, like some of the guys on the team, like personally, like being on the more hardware side of things, there's been times where I'm the only female like in the lab. And it's definitely sometimes you like question it a little bit, but it's not because like they're doing anything wrong. It's like maybe they're not going out of the way all the time, to like notice it. But in general, like they do a really good job.
Yeah, I have had actually a lot of support. I am also very busy, and so a lot of the like questioning of my being here was mostly just, do you have the time for that? But I think probably one of the biggest, like if I had a block, it was mostly just, yeah, kind of just the way society is, I guess, and just being more, kind of catering more towards men when it comes to like these kinds of opportunities, because it's always been a male dominated field. And so it was kind of more just trying to like remember that they're aware, but they might not always be super aware of the position that they've already been, and like they've already been given.
Yeah, as for me, I've had a lot of support from the male members in my family. My father is an electrical engineer. My brother is studying electrical engineering. My grandpa was an optical engineer. And just because they're not afraid to share things with me that are like harder. So if they want to explain something scientifically, they don't like kind of like dumb it down for me. The fact that they are willing to be like, here's all my math notes and like maybe you can find an error in it. Their confidence in me really gives me the support that I need.
Thanks. Good answers.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? So I think team, you know that AAUW, that STEM is one of our big passions and part of our mission. So anything that we can do for those members on this, our executive committee agreed to send a check to the team as a sort of a stipend for doing this show for us. But I'm going to ask maybe Leah to say what if people individually wanted to support you, what they could do. This is individually.
Here, well, we have a GoFundMe. I'll have to get more information on that because honestly, because we have a business lead, but she's graduating.
Maybe you can send it to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chloe, maybe you can send it to me. Because as individuals, we can do that. I know our branch members did that when you came to our branch. Claudia.
Pat, I think we should also tell these young women that AAUW has several postgraduate fellowships they might consider in the future. Maddie, we currently have a postgraduate fellow here in Portland from Peru, and she is here at Portland State on an AAUW scholarship to study wastewater management. And you said you were interested in environmental things. She particularly picked Oregon and Portland State because where she lives in Peru, it's desert. And she wanted a place with a lot of rain. And we all heard from her early in the year. She's absolutely delightful. Also, I can't remember, I think it must be Anna. We have a postgraduate astronomy fellowship also that is specifically for astronomy. Isn't that your interest?
Yeah.
Keep us in mind, please.
Okay, I will.
All right. Any other questions, comments? I just want to say thank you so much. You're so inspiring, and you're going to keep us doing what we do to help people like you. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're absolutely delighted. Yeah. All right. So tomorrow night, we're going to have some counterpart sessions, and we hope to see many of you there. Again, this is recorded. So I'll let you know, Chloe, when we know what the link is, and I'll send it to you guys so you and your families or whoever else wants to watch it can. Put it on your resume.
Yes, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
It was delightful.
Thank you.
All right.
We'll be in contact with you about our
perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. See you tomorrow night and again on Wednesday. This is a great kickoff for our summer skills camp.
Very inspiring.